So yesterday I made a video on fictional character, and today I actually have a story of a nephew of mine. His name is Julian, and I want to take different segments of lives, different age groups, different people, and show you what could be the potential of a future, depending on the different variations of roads that they can walk on. Remember, God talked about a narrow road and a broad road. He talked about so many things in the Bible that have to do with the connections that we connect ourselves to. You're gonna reap what you sow. You can actually, determine the future by what you're connected to. And that goes for people. The Bible says that bad company corrupts good character. There's a saying in Spanish that says, Dime con quien ande, te diré quien eres, which basically means, show me who you're hanging out with, and I'll show you who you are. So it's a very true saying. A lot of people know this, but there's a lot of good nuggets here for everybody. Just takeaways, things to refreshers and things like that. So I have a nephew. His name is Julian, right? And he's growing up right now, and I'm taking him to church little by little. And so I'm gonna be that guy that he reflects on when he gets older. So he has some seeds deposited in him that have to do with the gospel and Jesus Christ, but he doesn't regularly go to church, and he's growing up watching a lot of rap videos, a lot of secular things on TV. He comes from a divorced home, a broken house, and then so he's a good kid in terms of like manners and stuff like that, but you can tell, like anybody that grows up without a father, you can usually tell that they're going to be lacking that figure, and they're going to be looking for that figure in somebody else as they grow up. So they're going to be looking up to certain idols, so to speak, and trying to extract that love that they never got, right? And so that edification, that love, that mannerism, that all that stuff is tied to identity. And one of the things that you're going to fight in this world as you grow up, one of the biggest battles is identity, knowing who you are, so that you can stand on your own 2 feet and you can face off with the world and carry your own convictions and not be swayed by other people's opinions. While they say what they say, they don't have to hurt you. One of the biggest breakthroughs I've ever had was when it dawned on me that what people say doesn't have to affect me. I have to receive it in order for it to affect me. So that's a good takeaway right there. So just munch on that. If you struggle with people and what they say to you and stuff like that, understand that you play a role in having those comments come into your heart, and you allow it by meditating on it and receiving it. There's a form of you receiving it, and then in turn, then it has the power to affect you. But you can totally brush it off, and you would brush it off if you didn't give so much importance to the voice or the words. Because there's other people that they say stupid stuff and you brush it off like if somebody younger than you tells you something, usually the mindset is, you're younger than me, you don't know more than me, so you brush off something like that. So in the same way, when somebody tells you something that puts you down, you don't have to accept it, right? Especially when you know better. So a form of identity in this life, you're going to be put in situations where you have to stand on your own convictions and stay rooted. So Julian, as well as every other person in this life, is going to get tested in different variations, in different ways. Some with peer pressure, right? We know this. Yes, somewhere along the lines, they're going to be introduced to different things that are worldly, right? And you have to prepare them for that, so that their first exposure is not from the wrong person. In other words, drugs, alcohol, sex, pornography, all these things they should know about before they ever get encountered with it by the wrong source. They could be exposed to it by somebody that knows and can break it down to them and tell them the effects of doing these things, the horrors that come with it, the the consequences. And so then when they get, inevitably they get met with it by somebody in middle school, high school, whatever it is, they're like, yeah, my dad, my mom, my sister, my brother, they warned me about you. They told me you were gonna come one day. Here you are. Okay, so this is happening right now. Okay. And that's how we could help our kids. So I'm that guy. I'm not gonna make this video very long because I have to go right now. But I'm that guy for Julian right now. I'm gonna have to make a part 2 for this video. But you know, there's people that carry the light and people that carry the darkness. People that are there to set you up for success that God will use, right? Because you know, I know that Julian needs somebody to set him up for success, because the things that, you know, the enemy, how he plays his playbook is he gets you while you're small, young, impressionable, don't know any better. That's why you see everybody racing when they're teenagers and young adults. They go 100 miles per hour through a 15 mile per hour zone, and they don't think things through. They don't think about these things. And that's just a minor little example of how the enemy gets them to just, they follow every feelings, they follow every emotion, every impulse. They don't think things through. They don't think about tomorrow, how this could affect them, any of that. And so that's why when you get older, you find yourself 40, 50, 60, 30 even, you slow down. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to pass. You know what? I'm going to stay in today. You like you pass up on stuff, but it's because you have more wisdom. I got to make a part 2, but yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Julian in terms of his story and the potentials of things that could happen, and how God uses people and how the devil will try to come to him. I'm not prophesying, but I'm saying like the different variations of ways that everybody gets met with different voyages and expeditions in this life, different people, and depending on who he connects himself to, I can tell you who his future. I can totally tell you what his future is going to be like, depending on who he hangs around with.